Hey family, good morning, good evening. I know a lot of you people are not going to be up to listen to me. That's all good. She working, um, working on a website and all that and all that. But I'm gonna let's see if we can go to Instagram. I want to talk to you about COVID-19, coronavirus. I've already given you guys a reading. If you guys haven't go listen, if you haven't heard what I said on corona, we just gonna shuffle the deck spiritually, mentally, and just gonna roll with the punches and let the Most High. First of all, thank you, Most High, for allowing me to be your vessel. Continue to use me. I surrender myself to you. I rebuke, denounce any evil entity trying to interfere and intervene with your communication for who has ears to listen. So let's go to Instagram because I got to free up some space on my phone. So since I've been back, this is going to kind of be like an update on, where I've been, why I came back to the YouTube community and, you know, just how I got back to this place. What's my email address? It's not, here we go. Trying to give y'all some visuals. Um, Hold on, I gotta put the security code in. Okay, hold on. All right, so that's not gonna work. First of all, I've titled this COVID-19 blah blah blah. I'm probably gonna rename this video. I'm just gonna go with the flow. Um, First of all, I was brought back to this YouTube channel to re-upload or to start uploading new content and new readings for you all because most High told me to. I asked him what he wanted me to do, and he told me this is what he wanted me to do, so I'm doing it. In the interim, I knew that. Okay, prior to me getting back on YouTube, which is basically in January 2020, I was working on this product, holistic healing type stuff, specifically hair, skin, and nail liquid vitamin that I developed. And Most High back in 2017, 2018, Most High told me start building your website, get prepared. So I did, and that's one of the main reasons why I changed the name of this channel because the name of this channel was originally the name of the hair, skin, and nail. Now the hair, skin, and nail vitamin, liquid vitamin. But so I did that, and then the Most High told me to put that aside. So I'm working on, my day to day, stuff, real estate, investments, and things like that, consulting people. And Most High said, pause on that. It was on YouTube. And, the first oracle, regarding an individual that I did was Kobe. And that's Pop Smoke. And then now, honestly, I didn't want to do it. I was actually afraid, but, it is what it is. God told me to do it. I did it. So in the interim, while I'm doing these oracles, noticing that like God's telling me, okay, I need you to do the oracle on Kobe, and if you listen to the Kobe oracle, I'm telling you in that oracle that something is going to happen before before. Let me plug this in. I'm basically telling you something is going to happen before Valentine's Day. Okay, Pop Smoke. And I knew something else was going to come after it, but I didn't know it was going to be this big. But now we're at the coronavirus. Now, in the interim, as I am doing these readings, when it came on to March, Most High said to me, jumble your readings up, zodiacs, and put them in elements. So, because you're going to need time to do other things. I'm like, okay. So I did that. Instead of me doing individual zodiacs, their monthlies and even weeklies, I jumbled, each element according to the zodiacs and each element. Didn't know what most I was telling me to prepare for, but that's what I did. So here we go. I did the March elements, and then boom, Corona hits, which is all good. You know what I mean? Like I'm not, like it is what it is. Then Most High told me to do the Oracle on Corona, so I did. So as I'm doing the Oracle on Corona, I'm thinking to myself, I gotta really get back into my, prayer routine, multiple times a day, you know, and just, getting back into just my zone. So, as I'm, doing, getting back in my zone, after, Corona had hit, or right even before Corona had hit, I'm on Instagram, and if you guys don't know the Instagram, algorithm and how it works, certain people show up on your timeline for a reason. I ain't gonna tell you the reasons. I mean, it's a dead giveaway if you don't know. There's certain people show up on your timeline for a reason. So certain people kept showing up on my timeline, so I started engaging in their content, in their lives and stuff like that. A couple gentlemen that two that I don't know, but in passing, how you doing, good brother, in New York City, and then just another gentleman that I just came across who's affiliated with these gentlemen, um these other gentlemen that I come across in passing, and their names are, one is Blue Pillar 44 on Instagram. Good brother, very very humble, very meek. You can just tell by his energy that he don't want no problems. He's, you know what I mean. You can tell he can get busy if he need to, but he's more of an observer, and he's kind of like a he gives you the benefit of the doubt type energy. Like he's not gonna pass judgment. He might say what he needs to say behind his back amongst his peers, but in your face, direction you're going in. Then he's got his twin brother who is Red Pill, on Instagram. He's a little bit more charismatic. Um, and he says what he feels. And then there's another gentleman called 19 Keys. If you follow these gentlemen in their lives, you're going to get a lot of knowledge and wisdom. Okay. But I'm basically bringing them up because the Most High is leading me to these gentlemen for a reason. And this is why it's so important to pray and meditate. Because in the interim, while I'm, being led to them, they're dropping these gems on, how in this downtime in this economy right now, internationally, you could be working on, your third business or your fourth business, or your, whatever, building that your new brand, or whatever the case may be. And it's so crazy when I started listening to them, it was kind of like that was God's way of triggering me. Okay, now it's time for you to pull the trigger on this product line, because God told me to put it away, and I'll tell you when it's time for you to release it. Boom. So great, that's all fine and dandy. So as I'm listening to these gentlemen, I'm very inspired, and I'm very inspired by what they're saying, and with my knowledge and expertise, on Wall Street, and this, that, and the other, I find it very encouraging that they're willing to share this type of information. So immediately, it put a battery in my back and said, okay, this is my sign from the Most High for me to go full force with this product line. Everything's going to fall in place how I need it to fall in place. Now, the ironic thing about, listening to these gentlemen, and, it's crazy because they're capitalizing off of, the beautiful thing is, when God sits you still, sits you down, people are in chaos, and that's not what you're supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be in chaos at all. You're not supposed to be worrying about, if you believe, that you rest in his bosom, if you believe that you rest in the palm of his hand, you know what I mean, and you're cuffed by his graces and his mercy, then at the end of the day, chaos and fear is unequivocal to, where you're going as far as his glory and his leadership, right? So these gentlemen, I'm listening to them, I'm like, wow, these gentlemen, no matter how much they, got, I mean, it's not even these gentlemen, it's people, there's so many entrepreneurs right now that are for their products, their businesses. I mean, if people, it's like this. If you're not getting in the faces of people right now when they're idle, and because this whole crisis right now that we're going through is a time to remember. You're never going to forget. So if you, as many faces you can go across in this time, when you wash your hand and sanitize them first, of course, in this time, any person that you can kind of like infiltrate their psyche to make them think different a little bit during this time, guess what? They're never gonna forget you. They're never gonna forget you. You know what I mean? I don't care if it was just commenting on their live or inboxing and them not responding to your inbox and acting like they don't see you. I don't care what it is. These people are going to remember you during these down times. That's why it's important for a lot of you to get on your ding. When I say get on your ding, that's what I mean. You know what I mean? Like, listen, at the end of the day, I know that it's hard. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh, what is going on? I hate when I see. I don't care who acts like. Okay, it's always gonna be. You're always gonna have haters. You know what I mean? You always gonna have people who don't want to support you because they know how powerful you are. I'm a victim of that in my own community. I've always been a victim of that. You know what I mean? Because of just my nature. You know what I mean? And I'm so super humble. I'm never ever like throwing it in people's face of who I am, what I can do, and what God has blessed me with, and who I am. I've never been like that. You know what I mean? But it's almost like God is telling me it's time. Like now, it's all that humble ish is null and void. Is dead. It's gone, dead, done. You know. So these gentlemen, like I said, 19 keys on Instagram, Blue Pillar 44 on Instagram, and um, Red Pillar 44, I want to say, but I'm not sure. But if you go to Blue Pillar 44's page, you'll kind of figure out what Red Pillar. But all these brothers they have a lot of nice affiliations. Sisters that you can follow that's really really doing it. You know what I mean? Pioneering it and just shifting. It's funny because Milagro Grams with a Z on Instagram. She has Mob Radio on YouTube, and she was she was ahead of the curve with her shift prior to Corona. I mean, it was almost like she was, and it was like I was pulled and drawn to her prior to 2020. You know what I mean? And I kind of like followed her and I watched everything she was doing. I was like, she's on to something. She's doing something and she don't even realize that she's doing. So let me kind of push her forward. You know what I mean? Let me just push a button here, push a button there. You know what I mean? And see where she takes it. She's now doing, an affiliate podcast. Like she's affiliated with another podcast called It's On Site with Riley from Love and Hip Hop. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing. Now, I'm trying. What I did, I attempted to connect dots between Milagro and Mob Radio on YouTube, and another DJ from where I'm from, but she didn't want to connect like that. So it's all good. But she's connected to another girl who is who is you know she's a dope businesswoman. Her name is Ming Lee on Instagram. So basically, I'm connecting the dots. Basically, I'm just in the matrix. I'm navigating and I'm watching. Like God is telling me, do this, do that, press a button here, email there, inbox here. God is telling me to do everything because He wants to know. He wants people to know that He's very, very alive. He's very, very present. You know what I mean? And He's doing it in a bona fide. You cannot right now in this day and age, in this time and this hour, you can't deny Him. A couple people, I'm not gonna name no names, and said, oh, we don't want to incite fear. We don't do it. I don't care what you want to incite. If the fact of the matter is, You know what I mean? You better be in fear or get right. You better be in fear or get right. You understand what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna dummy the situation down and tell nobody to not be in fear. You understand what I'm saying? Because that means if you are in fear, you ain't right. You ain't right. So that means get right. Because if like for me, people, is this the Bible's the end of the world? It don't matter if you're right. It don't matter if you're right. It don't matter if you solid spiritually and you know it. And I'm not saying this and to come off in an overzealous way. I'm just saying, you know what I mean, this fear that people, this fear induced rhetoric is healthy. It's healthy. Because to be quite honest, if you don't fear the possibility of the Messiah, coming back to slay the game, and to have heaven descend from the quote unquote clouds, if you don't fear it, then guess what's gonna happen to you, brother, sister? So this fear induced rhetoric is healthy to get people right. Matter of fact, I need you to fear my daddy. I need you to fear my father. You, because he's not a game. He'll slap you in the face with the sun and ask and dare you to ask how it happened and where it came from. Imagine yourself getting slapped in the face with the sun. You understand what I'm saying? Forget having a baseball tossed at your gut. Have the moon tossed at your gut. We're talking about this is different levels now. And no, at the end of the day, everybody's talking about, oh, can we live a little bit and this, that, and the other? Nah. Let's bring heaven on down. And let's bring heaven on. It's time. So y'all understand, y'all worried about, okay, let's make this business here, let's make this money here, this, that, and nah. You ain't gonna even need to worry about making money and this, that, and the other. You're just gonna be living, enjoying life abundantly according to the good deeds that you have done. Not $1 is gonna need to be exchanged once heaven has descended. You're gonna be your own yourself, your own flesh. You're gonna be a walking ATM card according to your own deeds. How about that? When you go into Gucci, you'll be able to say, okay, Gucci's gonna be able to say, and this is just hypothetically, gonna be able to say, basically, you walking through the doors of Gucci. All right, you can spend because of your karma. You can spend $50,000 here today because energetically, spiritually, you paid 50. Yeah, you deposited $50,000 spiritually, energetically into somebody else's account. That's heaven on earth. You got to live according to your deeds. Just like it's levels it's levels on earth, yeah, it's levels in the kingdom too. The only difference is it's not gonna. Let me not get too deep. Like going back to the coronavirus, um, and just the idea of upgrading. That's the title of this video. This is time for you to upgrade. Decide. Now is the time for you to decide whether or not you want to upgrade or you don't want to upgrade. Whether or not you okay, let me okay. I know that I'm gonna get too deep. First of all, if this was hypothetically, I'm not saying it is or it ain't, but if this was the beginning of end time heat at its finest, a lot of y'all would be jacked up if someone like me didn't give you the heads up and open your eyes on what's really happening. I'm not even gonna open the book and give you scriptures. I'm just gonna give you sheer facts. Okay? Um, Hypothetically, quote unquote, if this was the beginning of end time hate, okay? We just stepped into it. 2020. Now niggas are seeing, people are seeing that, wow, there might be a real God. Wow. And that God has the power to turn out the lights and tell everybody stay at home. You on punishment. Everybody on punishment right now. Everybody need to think right now. And y'all thinking from a place of I hate to say this, but accepting the red pill or the blue pill. So let me, okay, the whore of Babylon and the great city of Israel, two women, they represent the same, almost identical stories, but there's one specific difference between them both. It's the same thing between the devil, Satan, and the Messiah. Same principal stories, but there's one specific difference. Okay, one specific difference between both. Okay, and then each one of these, each on the female side and on the male side, there is a queen for each. Okay, and then on top of that, there is a realm for each. Earth. You understand what I'm saying? And then heaven on earth. So I'm gonna hit you in the head with this. Think about it. We already know, and this, see, these good brothers, they say, oh, we don't need to talk about conspiracies. There ain't no conspiracy. God is not a conspiracy. It's real. What a lot of these people, celebrities, whoever engaged in to get what they got, where they at, and how they got it, that's on them. Okay? But it's a clear fact that the devil, okay, and the beast, they're rich. They're filthy rich on this realm, on this earth. Okay? And Babylon. Filthy rich. But the great city Israel, the Messiah, they humbly come before you with nothing but themselves and their spirit. Know who you dealing with, who you talking to. See, this is why when I deal with people, I come at them and I deal with them from a space. Okay, are you looking at me from a monetary space? Or are you really trying to hear my heart? Are you really trying to understand who I am in the kingdom and what I can really bring to your life? I keep getting sidetracked. I'm sorry. I apologize. Most High, speak through me. What do you want? I know what He wants you to, the point that He wants you guys to have, but I'm trying to balance how I feel with getting this point across. Okay, boom. So let's talk about the conspiracy now. Let's hypothetically say we're facing the first leg of the end time heat, right? And now people's like, dang. About a month ago, I sold my soul to the devil, and I ain't even get paid for. I sold my soul. I think I remember telling the devil, I need about 400,000 or whatever it is, man. I ain't even see that yet. Like a lot of people are dealing with some really crazy stuff right now. You know what I mean? I just even celebrities. Dang, you know what I mean? I done sold my soul to the joint, and you know what I mean. We already in the end. Da da da. First of all, let's talk about if you did sell your soul to the devil. The devil has fooled you into being his company. Because when the heat hit for him and his crew, you think the devil was going to be going through that heat, in the pit by himself? Nah. He had to dangle the carrot in front of the donkey's face and give you that temporary love, that temporary bliss. Because he knew that he wouldn't be able to sustain the heat by himself. He was gonna need company, and because that heat in the pit is going to be his new realm. You understand what I'm saying? It's good. The crazy thing is gonna be his new realm. So he's gonna have the authority to not only torture you during his punishment. So now you're being punished with him. You're being punished with the force that dangled the carrot in your face and say, hey, sure, sell me your soul. Now, let's talk about why would the devil wants you to sell your soul. Well, the Bible talks about you were already bought for a price. You were already bought for a price. And I can go really, really deep with this. You were already bought for a price, right? So, but I know a lot of people are going to say bought from who, where, what. That's a little bit too deep. But the sheer fact that you were, that's too deep. That's a whole nother video. But the sheer fact that you were bought for a price, basically, when a person sells their soul, okay, and going somewhere with this COVID-19, this coronavirus, and where I'm saying, when a person sells their soul to the devil for, who sells their soul that was already bought for a price from the Heavenly Father to a lesser God, you didn't basically played yourself because you sold a contract that was already made prior to your existence. Okay? For you to fulfill, to be a part of fulfilling prophecy. But you basically bowed out. You bowed out for $1, only to end up being the devil's company during his punishment. Gangster. And believe me, my daddy punishment is not fun. Have it your way, KFC. Uh, have it your way. So, for those of you who didn't sell your soul and you going through this you're dealing with this, you're in the beginning, the height of the beginning of this whole pandemic, right? And you're getting a good dose of what you may be facing if this was end times, according to the book of Revelations. God is giving you a certain space, amount of time to not only pray, but repent. Because only those who make it through this time will inherit the kingdom. What is the kingdom? That's a whole nother video. Only those who make it through all of this fire, all this heat that's coming, will be able to reign on earth with the Messiah for 1,000 years. Feel me? So now you got to think about the difference between those who endure, right? Versus, yeah, those who endure and make it through versus those who don't endure and make it through. At this time, everybody should be focused on prayer, repentance, purging of oneself's sins, coming before the Father, and asking the Father to have mercy and grace and help them make it through the storm. Okay, however long it's going to last, whether it be another 24 hours or quite a long time. Let's put it that way. Okay? I know I need to have more, this basically the Most High is telling me right now that I need to put together an organized series. But, going back to, Corona, COVID-19, right now, a lot of you guys should be proactive in your prayer and meditation, planning. You know what I mean? Because, granted, if this is the setup to placate on the mark of the beast and, accepting the chip in the right hand and or, the left hand or your forehead or whatever the case may be, you need to decide your game right now. Either you're going to decide to be beheaded for the Most High or take that chip and say goodbye to the Most High. It's up to you. If this world is worth it to you versus what it could be like for real, for real, for real, for real, for real. Think about all of the people who have suffered exponentially through humility and just just grave suffering, and how things could just automatic, like celebrities will now be on the bottom of the bottom of the pyramid. Feel me? You understand what I'm saying? That's the difference between selling your soul and enduring. Everything is going to flip flop. You know, like when you talk about, when people talk about, or I guess our Lester Crowley and the Baphomet as a below, as above so below. Yeah, yeah, because when heaven descends, it's going to be whoever's above is going to be below. If they, you know, according to their deeds, according to if they their soul contract is in the hand of the Most High, or it's in the hand of the, you know, that entity. I don't want to get it in the flesh. Entity. I rebuke. Get thee behind me, Satan. But yeah. You know what I mean? So like, okay, fast forward. Now I did the reading for COVID, or for Corona. It was what it was. It is what it is. Um Listening to these gentlemen, you know, most I said, okay, start the marketing campaign. You know what I mean? Follow my lead. Start the marketing campaign for your product line. Okay, great. Great. Now I'm doing it. And we're going to see where this leads and guides me. You know, where the Most High leads and guides me with this. I have no idea. Like every day, you know what I mean? I leave my life. My life is so heavy in the hands of the Most High that day to day, I can't tell. I personally can't tell you. I couldn't even pull. I couldn't even shuffle the deck on my own life. You know, as a matter of fact, nobody can, because God is unpredictable. What a person thinks is going to happen in my life, He'll shift the whole entire game. A lot of people thought they was playing a game with me prior to this Corona COVID-19. A lot of people were testing the waters with me, and God showed up and showed out on an international scale. That's what happened. Like it was so like I was going through so much turmoil with people. Like I've had the white man, and I, you know, I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but it's just, it is what it is, telling me, oh, you little black girl, you're not going to get this commission, you're not going to get your check, and da 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 da. And then I had brothers coming, calling me and telling me, oh, let me take you on a date. You want to do this deal? Yeah, let's go on a date. Like really propositioning me. You understand what I'm saying? First of all, let me tell you something. If I'm going to give my box up to anybody, it's going to be because I want to. I'm not going to give it up for no money, because it's priceless. And any man that's been with me can tell you that it's priceless. That's a whole nother story. But I've definitely gone through so much prior to this, and I'm just like, yo, I really got on my spiritual dean, and I was like, God, you, like, I need you to shut down shop. I said it's over. I literally said to the Most High, I want this world over ASAP. Done. Done. Let's get to the point. Let's get it. Let's get. And then here comes Corona 19 or COVID 19. Right here, I affirm to God on everything. On my mother and father's life. That's exactly what happened. Not saying that I caused it, but at the end of the day, that's how I felt. You know what I mean? When people tell me, little black girl, you ain't this, da da da, and I'm gonna keep your money from you, and this, that, and the other. And then it's so crazy because I'm watching this Instagram live, and I'm like, I'm not even worried because I know my father is going. He always provides for me, whatever. And you know, I got a commission check waiting to come to me. But you know what? My father said to me, you know, I'm your source. You rely on me. So I said, yeah, of course I know that. So it's crazy because I'm watching one of these Instagram lives, and this dude is flashing his money, like flashing his money around. You know what I mean? And he's like, I know somebody need this money, and da da da. And I, you know, for me, I knew he was talking. I knew for a fact he was talking to me, and I'm looking at him on a live, and I'm like, how does he feel like I need this money? It's, you know, a lot of people talk, streets talk. You know what I mean? When I post, God tells me to purposely put certain hashtags and tag certain people in my posts, because basically these people don't even realize, no, they don't even realize they have just become a pawn in the game of chess. God wants to see how thorough you are with your platform and what you're going to do with who you are. So when I tag people, people don't even really realize. They think I'm looking for clout. And at the end of the day, no, I'm exposing you. And it's just like I'm uncovering who these people are, and they don't even realize now. And I know they're gonna listen to this. Now go back to the book and read it and figure out who you are in this equation. I'm not tagging because I need clout. Because I know you guys can never provide for. You can never. These people can never provide for me what I know my father can, because I'm priceless. And when I say this, I'm priceless. Imagine. Okay, I'm gonna give it to you, real rap raw. Imagine God having a daughter and a son, but God having a daughter, right? And she's the apple of his eye, and she knows exactly how he thinks. She knows exactly what he's gonna do before he does it, because that's his daughter. She raised him, or he raised her, and da 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 da. Why would that daughter be priceless when it comes to any man or any person dealing with his daughter, in the eyes of God? She would be priceless because she knows everything about him. If not everything, maybe 80 to 90%. And if her father is God, that's a hell of a lot of information to know, right? Hell of a lot, which would make her priceless. This is why I love the books. People don't even really read the book like that. I'm dropping gems. And guess what? I'm not going to get the credit. And people are not going to credit me for this information, for opening their eyes to see things the way it really is, right? So at the end of the day, when going back to me tagging people and this dude flashing his money on Instagram, it's like, really? Wow. I'm looking at people, and people making side slick comments like, yeah, you know, you propositioning me like, um, like, you can dangle a carrot in my face, I'm gonna take it. Nah, I know exactly who I am. I ain't never sold the box for not a dollar. He never had to. Because God created me to show and prove who he is through me, because people actually got the game wrong. They got it twisted. So he's using me. It's so crazy because the great city of Israel, this woman in the Bible, she suffered great humility. She was teased and taunted. She was mocked and mimicked, just like Jesus, just like the Messiah. They both went through the same exact thing. Just one was man, one was woman. That's what makes her the bride of Christ. She goes through identically the exact same thing the Messiah goes through. Identically. So when I look at people, I take on that energy all day. When I look at people doing foolish things online, they say slick things. Oh, she ain't all that, she pretty. I've been bullied all my life. Okay? All my life. And never once have I ever had to defend myself. I'm gonna give you a story. My biggest bully in high school. I mean, she was everybody's bully. But back in the day when you walking home from school, and I'll never forget it. Broke my heart because I just tried to fit in so much, and God never intended me to fit in. He never wanted me to fit in. He wanted me to stand out, and I didn't understand that until actually today. Because there was a reason for me to be bullied. So basically, I was bullied all my life, and this girl who was the town bully, female version, she came up, and I tell the story to everybody, and they know it's true. Because anybody who mess with me, they get rocked by the Most High. People actually think I do voodoo or something, because if they try me, they get rocked, and it's not me. It's really not. The Bible says, pray for your enemies. Why would I do the opposite? When I know that my wrath can never compare to the Most High wrath. So boom. Well, everybody walking home from school, this, that, and the other. And I was the target this year. I think it was 11th grade. Yeah, I was the target this year. So I was a target that I would get punched in the face. So I'm walking home and I'm thinking everything is cool. Boom. Here comes the homegirl. She comes and swings and just bang, hits me in the face. Now my god sister, she, in high school, she was what, 6'1", 6'2". Nobody messed with my god sister. But she wasn't like next to me when it happened, but my best friend was. She was kind of cowardly and all that, but she ain't do nothing. She, she kind of looked at me like, oh my God. But, all that mouth and all that shit she had in high school didn't amount to nothing because she ain't really had my back like that. Actually, she did. I ain't gonna lie, but she really, like, if I was really a ride or die, you would have really got it in, homegirl. Whatever, whatever. It happened the way it happened. Long story short, 10 years later, I didn't have a black eye. I just had a knot on my head or whatever. 10 years later, it's the same girl. She turned her life over to God. And I tell this story as a testimony to not play with God's chosen. Um, she gives her life over to God, and on the same side of the head that she punched me in the head on, her children's father shot her on the same side of the head in the same spot that she punched me in the head on. When that happened, before that happened, I always knew that when people mess with me, something bad would happen to them. But after it happened with this one girl, I started paying attention. I really started paying attention. I became very aware. You know what I mean? Like, this is not happening by coincidence. Because I was really hurt after she had hit me like that. I was crushed. Like, my feelings was hurt. Like, I didn't want to be embarrassed. I didn't want to be the talk of the town in humility. Oh, Dia was the one that you laughed at and this, that, and the other. I didn't. You know what I mean? I bounced back from that. Well, actually, I didn't, because that next year I didn't athletically. I wasn't the same person. Whatever. Now it was almost like the punch in my head that she had hit me with. All my energy that God had blessed me with physically went to my mental. Now I became this mental. My muscle was like, my prominent muscle was my mind, my brain. So I say all this to say, this, just giving this example of this girl and people not understanding the power of the Most High. Don't play. When you're chosen, you're chosen. Don't play with God's chosen, because you will get set up to get shut down. Try again. Matter of fact, don't. If I was you, don't try again. So, I'm watching all these people say slick stuff, post slick stuff, and God is giving me, I'm like radar. I'm like radar to God. You understand what I'm saying? I'm radar. I could see it. I could see it. God will send me to someone's page an hour before they post something about something that involves me, and then send me back an hour, 10 minutes after they posted, just so I could see what it was and know exactly. It's crazy how God deals with me. You understand what I'm saying? But going back to the point of the matter, do right by people. If this is the end times, if we're in the end times, you know what I mean? And you want to be in God's grace, mercy, and have favor, do me a favor. Do me a big, 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 big favor. Get right. As a matter of fact, it's so crazy because, yeah, this is another point I want to make. The dude that was dangling and flashing his money in my face, even the people that owe me money right now, if they were smart, they would say, "What's your cash app? What's your bank account information? I want to send you my tithes. I want to bless you." You understand what I'm saying? Like, so that I can be blessed. To know that I blessed one of God's chosen. If they were smart, you know what I mean? Like, if they were smart, they wouldn't dangle the carrot. They would eat the carrot and then turn around and bless the person that they dangled the carrot in front of with a real blessing. Because the blessing doesn't go to, let me not get too deep. But it's crazy. It's crazy how people play a game of chess and they don't even know that they playing with they playing with the wrong one. So get right. Get right. Get right. Get right. Get right with the Most High. Get right with yourself. Stop playing this game like you think you know everything and you don't. I, for one, don't. Like, from day to day, you think I know what my daddy gonna do and say next? My daddy dropped a bomb on me today. And I was, it was beyond me. But I had to laugh it off, because if he didn't drop the bomb on me today, I wouldn't have experienced what I experienced and make this video. Period. Period. Beyonce didn't make the album The Gift for a reason, because it's really a gift. That album is really a gift, not musically, but the proceeds for that album is really going to be a gift to somebody. But the Bible says a rich man will have a better chance of getting fitting himself through an eye of a needle than getting into heaven. So I'm gonna let y'all rest on that. Be well.